I hate to break it to y'all, but all that effort and work you're putting into building up your credit score, that shit is a waste of time. I don't know if anyone's told you, but credit scores and debt, it's a scam. And it's a scam that's keeping you broke, keeping you stressed, and you need to get out of it. Now, I may be biased. I'm anti-credit, anti-debt, right? I've never owned a credit card, and the one time I did apply for a credit card, I got denied. Low-key, that was a blessing in disguise. The only time I've ever taken out a loan were student loans. And in hindsight, I didn't even need them. I had a full ride, so I should have probably skipped out on those too. It would have saved me a lot of time and stress. But so in today's walk and talk, I'm gonna break down the truth about debt and credit and why it's designed to keep you trapped and why you should avoid it at all costs. You've probably heard things like, there's good and bad debt, or that you need to build your credit score, or that in order to build wealth, you need to build your credit. I'm gonna tell you right now, all of that is bullshit. They're selling you a lie, they're selling you a dream. You do not need credit or debt to do any of that. We've been programmed to believe that building credit is a necessary rite of passage into adulthood, when all it really is a tool that helps you spend money that you don't got. Let's break it down. Debt is just what you owe. Credit is how much money you're allowed to borrow. The only reason you need credit is to go into debt. Let me repeat that. The only reason you need credit is so you can go into debt. All it means is that you don't have the money to afford whatever it is you're trying to buy. The moment you swipe that credit card, the moment you finance that car, that vacation, or that couch, you're making a contract with yourself and saying to yourself, I know I don't own this shit. I know I can't afford this shit, but I'm gonna work for it and pay for it later. Here's some reasons why I feel like debt is just dumb, right? One, it steals your time, right? You gotta trade hours of your life just to work and make money just to break even. Two, it destroys your health, right? It stresses people out. When people are chronically stressed out, they're chronically sick. Three, it ruins relationships. Money's probably the number one problem within marriages and relationships, and that's why people break up. Four, it kills your cash flow. Imagine getting a paycheck every 2 weeks, but you can't touch any of your money because you got other people going in your pockets to take what you owe them. Look, I'm not a religious man, but even the Bible and the Quran talk about how dumb and bad debt is. The Bible says, the rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender. Now, why would you voluntarily make yourself a slave to anyone? Think about that, right? Wealthy people aren't slaves to anyone. They're the free ones. When you're in debt, every dollar that you make is not yours until your debt is paid off. Ain't that crazy? Now let's look at the Holy Quran, all right? Islam takes the matters of debt very seriously, and it warns and urges Muslims to avoid debt at all costs. So the Prophet Muhammad, he's quoted as saying, if a man is killed in battle for the sake of Allah and then brought back to life and he owed a debt, he would not be allowed to enter paradise until that debt is paid off. Come on. There's another quote where he says, whoever dies free from three things, arrogance, cheating, and debt, they will enter paradise. I got one more for you. It says, the soul of the believer is suspended because of his debt until it is paid off. I say all that to say, debt and credit, they're not necessary for building wealth. As a matter of fact, if you can avoid debt, if you can avoid credit, you're probably going to build wealth much faster than everybody around you. All right, it's contrary to popular belief, but I could tell you from experience, all right, because that's what's happening with me right now. All right, so here are some benefits of living a debt-free, credit-free lifestyle. Number one, you got extra cash to spend how you want to spend it. You ain't got to worry about creditors digging your pockets whenever you get paid to take what you owe them. Two, you're less stressed, man. When you don't got to worry about paying people off, you can enjoy your money, right? Three, you get a lot more freedom to do what you want. Four, you can invest more. And five, when you don't have debt, you can retire earlier. All right, and if those reasons don't get you excited or motivate you, you can just stop the video right now and go back to your debt lifestyle. Go back to slavery, bro. By all means. All right, let's deep dive into everyone's favorite subject, credit, right? So credit is the ability to borrow money or how much money you can borrow, right? You only need credit when you're trying to make purchases and you don't have enough capital to afford those purchases. See, and that's problem number one. You got to stop spending money that you don't have. It doesn't make sense. All right, now let's talk about the infamous credit score. All a credit score is, it's a 3-digit number that tells banks how good you are at paying back money. It doesn't mean that you're financially smarter than anyone. It doesn't mean that you're wealthier than anyone. All it means is that you're good at paying back the banks. So you've got your FICO score, you've got your Vantage score, and then you've got your scores from the 3 big credit bureaus, right? TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. And guess what? They don't even agree on credit scores. So you don't only have one credit score, it's possible you have hundreds. You can literally have hundreds of credit scores. Before the 1950s, credit cards didn't even exist, B. And today, it's a $4 trillion industry. And they spend hundreds of millions, even billions of dollars trying to make you believe that you need credit, right? And the more that you believe that, the richer these people get. Credit cards are the most aggressively marketed product in human history. No other product in this world has been marketed like credit cards, right? Not the iPhone, not Jordans, not real estate, nothing, right? Credit is the most marketed product of all time. As much as I hate credit and debt, there's only one circumstance where it makes sense to me, right? I feel like it only makes sense to go into debt or to use credit when you're buying an asset that's gonna make you more money, right? So for example, you take out a mortgage to purchase a rental home, which is gonna start producing cash flow right away, right? Or you're taking out a loan to start a business, right, that you're gonna build up or buy, right? Other than that, debt makes no sense, credit makes no sense, right? People use credit and debt to buy fucking shoes, to buy makeup, to buy freaking clothes, right? It don't make sense, bro. It don't make sense. Those things don't give you a return on investment. They don't provide value, all right? And then people want to complain about being broke and not flipping having money. It not make sense. I just want y'all to prosper. And I truly believe the first step to prospering is to cut the debt out, man. Cut up those credit cards, get rid of the debt. All right, it's holding you down. You don't need credit to build wealth. You don't need a credit score to get the things that you need. All right, what you do need is discipline, cash flow, and the courage to go against what society tells you is normal, right? Because today in society, normal is being broke, normal is being in debt, and normal is being stressed out. I don't want to be normal. I don't want y'all to be normal. So if you're ready to stop being normal and you're ready to start being different, start thinking of ways to get rid of that debt, man. Start thinking about how you can pay off your credit cards, how you can get rid of that car loan faster, all right? Because all that debt is holding you down. I know you feel it. I know you feel it. And I'm telling you, once you get that weight off your shoulders, life is different, B. Life is different. But until you can see that and envision that, all I can do is tell you, all right? You're gonna have to do the work and, eventually feel it for yourself. So until then, until next time, you already know.